Hey, RT family, Ryan Reynolds here with Keller Williams Consultants Realty and your August 2023 real estate market update. So what's going on in August of 2023? Well, as always, we're going to talk about three big statistics, and those being inventory, interest rates, and of course the amount of money you'd put in your pocket if you were to sell your house, the average sales price of homes in the greater Columbus area. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now with inventory. When we look at inventory, right now what we're seeing is almost exactly what we saw last year. And we measure inventory in a couple of different ways. And one of the ways we do measure it is months of inventory based on closed sales. And what that does basically is says if nothing else comes onto the market and everything on the market is selling at the current rate of sales, how long does it take to sell the market out? Well, currently we're sitting at 1 month of inventory. And so that doesn't sound too bad. Like it sounds like you might have a month or so to buy something. But what that really means is that our balanced market being 4 to 6 months of inventory means you only have about a quarter of the homes on the market that we normally would see. And so what that tells us is that it is a strong seller's market. So if you're thinking about selling, what you could expect is that there is not much competition, I should say, and you can probably expect to get good pricing along with good terms. So that's what's going on with inventory. So now the second thing we're going to talk about is interest rates. Where are they going? Where have they been? And what do we expect to see in the future? Well, where they've been is they've obviously about a year and a half ago, they were really low. They've been raising up, as you can see by this chart, really fast, and they've kind of settled out around the 7 to 7.25 to 6.75 mark, and currently they're sitting a little bit above 7 as the time of recording this. So what we've seen is that these have rushed up really fast to 7. They've stayed around 7, and that's really shaken people and caused them to kind of settle down. So this year, from a total volume of transactions standpoint, we're actually expecting it to be probably around 4.3 million nationally, which a normal year would be around 5 million, something like that, units. And so it's quite a bit slower. Last year was around 5.3 million units. So we're going to be almost a million units or 20% less volume than we had last year in terms of homes sold. But my expectation is that once the Federal Reserve stops increasing interest rates on the federal funds lending rate standpoint, we'll actually see interest rates come down on the mortgage rate side to probably 5.5% to 6%, and that'll probably happen sometime in the late winter, early spring sort of time frame. So if you're thinking about buying a house later, I could see why you might think that would be a great idea. However, it's probably not a great idea because when that happens, the prices will probably shoot back up, and so will competition. So if you're thinking about buying, even though rates are higher now, you'd be better off to buy now, refinance later, because this way you'll be able to find a house and lock in the real estate at that price before interest rates, I should say, before prices go skyrocketing, which is my expectation for next spring. So that's what's going on with interest rates. So now the last thing we're going to talk about is the sales price, so the average sales price. And this is not necessarily indicative of how much your house is worth or even how much the whole market has changed. However, it's just a snapshot in time, and it's interesting to talk about. So as of the end of July, the average sales price for a single family home in the greater Columbus MLS statistical area was $373,000. Now, compared to last year in the end of July, it was $360,000, and that represents a little bit over 3.5% increase from year over year. The answer to the question is, how much is my house worth? Well, probably around 3.5% to 4% more than it was worth last June, or I should say last July. However, that is again worth a whole lot more than it was, say, 3 years ago. So that's all we have for you for today. We talked about interest rates, we talked about inventory, and we did talk about how much money you have in your pocket were you to sell your house. If you are thinking about selling or making a move, please give us a call. We'd be happy to customize a solution for you and to help you understand your specific situation. As always, it's the Ryan Reynolds team, unlimited opportunities and exceptional experiences.